This podcast is sponsored by Dr. Bennett's Life Mastery Communication and Relationships online course. Discover the secrets to effective communication and build lasting connections. Register today at verversity.com/course/lifemastery1.
Mastering Interpersonal Feedback, Communication Tips for the Workplace. Learn practical tips for giving and receiving interpersonal feedback at work to build better relationships and improve communication skills. Why interpersonal feedback at work isn't as scary as you think. Hey, so I wanted to chat with you about something we all face but don't always get right. Interpersonal feedback in the workplace. Yeah, that thing where you're trying to give someone advice or point out something that could be better, but you're not sure how to say it without stepping on toes or creating awkwardness. Honestly, giving and receiving feedback is one of those skills that's super important but often overlooked. It's not just about telling someone they're doing great or, well, maybe not so great. It's about building relationships, strengthening communication, and making the whole work environment better for everyone. Let's be real. Nobody likes to feel criticized, but if feedback is done right, it's actually a form of respect. It shows you care enough about the person and the results to want to help improve things. That's the foundation of good interpersonal skills. When you have those down, giving feedback becomes less of a minefield and more of a constructive conversation. One thing I always remind myself and others is that the way feedback is delivered is everything. It's not about just pointing out flaws, it's a blend of honesty, kindness, and clarity. For example, instead of just saying you're doing this wrong, you could try, I noticed this part could be handled differently to get better results. Can I share some ideas? Phrasing it this way opens the door for a back and forth dialogue instead of shutting it down. And on the flip side, being open to receiving feedback without getting defensive is just as crucial. When someone gives you pointers, don't automatically think they're attacking you. Often they're trying to help you grow, even if it doesn't always come out perfectly. Developing good communication skills means being able to listen actively, ask questions for clarity, and take what's useful from the conversation. So, what makes for effective feedback in the workplace? Let me share a few simple communication strategies that can take your feedback game up a notch. Be specific, avoid vague comments like, you need to improve. Instead, pinpoint exactly what behavior or action you're talking about. Focus on behavior, not personality. It's better to say, I noticed the report was delayed, rather than, you're irresponsible. Use I statements. This helps frame your feedback in your perspective. For example, I felt confused when the project details weren't clear, rather than blaming. Balance positive and negative feedback. Don't just call out what's wrong, highlight what's going well, too. This builds trust and shows you're paying attention to the whole picture. Choose the right time and place. Giving feedback in front of everyone can embarrass someone. Better to have a private, calm setting. And here's a little secret: when people feel safe and respected during feedback, they're way more likely to be receptive. This kind of approach fosters relationship building and strengthens team dynamics, not breaks them down. Now, what if you want to get better at this in general? How do you develop that instinct for knowing how and when to share feedback? One great way is investing some time in developing your communication skills overall. There's a lot out there to learn about effective communication that goes beyond just feedback. Things like active listening, empathy, and assertiveness. If you're serious about leveling up, I highly recommend checking out the Life Mastery Communication and Relationships course. It's packed with real-world advice on how to communicate better, build stronger relationships, and handle those tricky conversations that come up both at work and in life. It's super practical, not just theory. Plus, it's designed for people who want to improve interpersonal skills without the fluff or endless jargon. You get clear, actionable strategies that you can use right away. Enroll now and start experiencing better connections at work and beyond. If you improve your communication skills, you'll notice feedback conversations become less stressful and more productive. It's a win-win for your career and your relationships. To wrap this up, remember that interpersonal feedback in the workplace is not about criticism or conflict. It's about sharing perspectives in a way that helps everyone grow. When you practice effective communication, it turns those potentially uncomfortable moments into opportunities for collaboration and success. So next time you have to give someone feedback, don't shy away or dread it. Think of it as relationship advice that enhances how you work together and help each other get better. Thanks for hanging out and letting me share some insights. Hopefully you find this helpful next time you're involved in those workplace conversations that can sometimes feel tricky. Till next time, keep building those communication skills and remember, good feedback is really just another way of caring.